everyone, and welcome to the Retail Roast podcast presented by Canadian SME. I'm Maheen, and today we'll be exploring the intersection of technology and retail, focusing on how advanced analytics, AI, and blockchain technology are transforming the industry. With businesses increasingly turning to innovative solutions, it's crucial for small and medium sized enterprises to stay ahead of the curve and leverage these technologies to optimize their operations. Our guest today is Greg Kular, the Global Center for Fintech Innovations Board Advisor. Greg is a seasoned professional with over 25 years of experience in using remote home based agents to increase revenue and reduce costs for businesses. In recent years, he has shifted his focus to blockchain technology and AI, working very closely with the early stage startups to integrate these solutions into various sectors. Greg's passion is to help farmers leverage blockchain tech for enhanced transparency from farm to table, ensuring traceability and boosting consumer trust. He holds a B admin degree from Concordia University and an MBA from the American University of London, where his thesis explored characteristics of high performing contact center agents. Greg is here to share his unique perspective on the power of AI and blockchain in the retail space. Greg, welcome to the podcast. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, Mahin, for hosting me and giving me the opportunity to be on the podcast.
We're very thrilled to have you on the show, Greg, and we look forward to discussing how businesses can leverage AI and blockchain to optimize operations and enhance customer experiences. Now, Greg, technology has become such a crucial element in the growth and sustainability of small businesses, from really automating daily operations to creating innovative consumer solutions. Tech driven strategies are really reshaping how businesses operate. Could you please share your thoughts on how technologies like AI, like blockchain, and digital strategies are playing a pivotal role in the growth of small businesses?
So let me just give you a backstory before I answer that question, Mahin. I'm a serial entrepreneur, serial board advisor, serial campaigner, and over the past 5 decades to where we are today, I think you've got to have a sense of where AI and blockchain is today. So when I started my career, it was like you just mentioned in the contact space. So I'm the individual that brought call centers from the United States to Canada. That was called nearshoring. And then the first guy to take centers abroad to India, Philippines, South Africa, Central America, and that was called offshoring. And I'm the first guy that brought in home shoring, which is taking call center agents and putting them and having them work from home because of the technology. So in the 1990s, I was the first guy that made the VoIP call for Salesforce from New Delhi to San Francisco. And I was with Dreamforce as a guest presenter on that technology. So so that the audience gets a sense. So in the 90s, the call centers were calling small businesses and asking them, do they have a website for their business? Right? We had close to 15,000 call center agents calling, G8 nations just for that sole purpose. Then fast forward a couple of decades, same individuals, they're calling businesses and asking them, do they have a mobile application for their business? And
Mhm.
let's fast forward it to today, where it's going to be agents calling to some degree and asking small businesses, do they have AI incorporated in their business? So that's the backstory and the history. And where I am today in terms of, being a serial pre-seed investor, I've invested in blockchain and AI companies. We're doing a couple of POCs in the retail space that I'd like to talk about today. And we're living an exciting time. It's over 5 decades, but the last 5 years have been just incredible in what's happening in the AI space.
That's really fascinating, Greg. It's clear that embracing technology is no longer optional, but a necessity for businesses that are looking to scale effectively. And I loved your point on how technology enabled small businesses to compete on a global stage. Now, given the rapid pace of technological advancements, what advice would you give to small business owners that are looking to integrate these technologies into their operations?
Yes, great question. And again, I want to give sort of tangible examples of what we're doing. So part of my volunteer experience over the past 10 years has been with Futurepreneur Canada. So Futurepreneur Canada, as you may know, is an organization that gives, if you're between the ages of 18 and 33, a Canadian citizen, they fund you for $60,000 to start your business. And over the past 10 years, I've seen the pain. And I've only mentored tech startups over the past 10 years. So mostly in the early stages, there were app companies that were bringing out an app product. But lately, it's been AI companies as well as brick and mortar. So the pain for that entrepreneur is, how do I, I've got funded, how do I go out and now, generate sales, have efficiencies? And over the past 10 years, what I've seen is, just how do I keep my mental health, up to par? So the POCs that we're doing with some of the mentees that I'm involved with is, how does a small business, solopreneur in this case, start a business and go out to market? So
Mhm.
looking at tools like demand generation, chatbots, virtual agents, analytic analysis of the spreadsheets. So giving the tools so that, from a business development perspective, that the lead that comes to that small business is qualified via the use of chatbots and virtual agents. The conversion to sale is then left to the entrepreneur to conclude on, and then the efficiencies of the businesses by the analysis of the profit and loss statements, cash flow statements, using analytics to help drive those efficiencies in that organization. So the answer to that question is, as entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, you really do have to embrace what's happening in the AI space. But there's so much happening. There's got to be a venue that lays this out. So our proof of concept that we're trying to have in this retail space is to give the entrepreneur those tools, ready-made tools, so that they can go out and implement and take action on those right away. For those individuals that are starting out, like, I think it's all said. I'm acquired repeating what everyone in the industry is saying. You're not going to lose your business or your job to AI. You're going to lose, someone that knows AI is going to take over your business or your job. And
Mhm.
the quicker that individuals start using, Chat GPT, the other platforms that are out there, I think, that is the best way to get engaged and best way to engage in this.
Thank you for those insights, Greg. As you've highlighted, the technology isn't just about adopting tools, it's about strategic integration and leveraging them for maximum impact. And listeners, adopting the right technology can really transform your business operations and set you apart from your competitors. So remember, it's essential to choose solutions that align with your unique business goals and customers' needs. Moving forward, Greg, I'd love to delve into how technology can enhance customer engagement, particularly with the use of AI driven solutions. Now, AI and automation are revolutionizing customer service and engagement by providing personalized experiences and streamlining processes. And small businesses now have the access to tools that were previously only available to large enterprises. Greg, how do you see AI and automation transforming customer services experiences for small businesses, and what should companies keep in mind when implementing these solutions?
I think what companies have to keep in mind, the first thing obviously is, what does the customer journey look like? Let's get back to the fundamentals. What does that journey look like? And then taking that journey and looking at where AI can help in streamlining the process or help in that customer experience. Again, I want to come back to another POC that we're doing in the restaurant space, for example, where you've got engagement with customers coming into restaurants, the staff, the back end, the kitchen. So how does an organization, involve all of that? So one of the POCs that we're doing for a restaurant chain here in Vancouver is, they have a staff of 40 employees, 21 cameras in their facility. So part of the POC looked at what were the pain points for the managers, what were the pain points for the customers coming in, the pain points for the staff engaging with the customers. So having all these data points uh, and then using video and using the combination of facial identity from the employees, looking at all those efficiencies that could be incorporated from the kitchen to the table. And one of the data points that was highlighted was how quickly does someone serve a glass of water to a customer from the minute that they walk in to the minute that they sit down. And that's one of over 150 data points that this company wanted to have a look at. So incorporating AI, because it's all this data that is being collected via video, and then also the transactions and what's happening on the floor, is then allowing to create this real-time dashboard that are giving these results for a positive customer experience, highly engaged staff, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely. No, AI offers incredible potential for personalizing customer interactions at scale. And your examples clearly demonstrate its versatility. And it's a great takeaway too, Greg. AI can be a game changer for businesses, but it's crucial to implement it thoughtfully. And listeners, when adopting AI and automation, focus on how these technologies can enhance your relationship with customers, not just streamline operations, because customer trust is built through transparency and responsible use of technology. Greg, up next, let's explore the challenges that small businesses face in scaling operations and how technology can help overcome these barriers. Because scaling is one of the biggest challenges small businesses face, and it's about building sustainable processes that can grow with the company. And digital transformation, when done right, can provide the scalability and flexibility that businesses need. So, based on your extensive experience, what are the key digital transformation strategies that small businesses could or should consider when looking to scale?
So in terms of scaling, I think that is scaling comes through testing. So, with everything that we have in social media, all the various platforms, all the AI tools that go all the way from content to video to text to chat, I think again it comes down to what that customer journey looks like for the business and implementing the tools there. Yeah, but again, it's such a huge field, right? You can go down this rabbit hole, and you're not going to come out. So what I recommend and what we're doing is just taking a piece of the journey. So if the
Mhm.
piece of the journey is to do an ad on TikTok or to do an ad on Instagram, well, what does that journey look like from the minute that we engage someone in TikTok to engaging someone in Instagram to getting them into the front door? So looking at all those points, touch points, and where can we use chatbots? Where can we use virtual agents? Where can we use live agents to bring the customers in? And again, it all depends on what hat you're wearing. Are you a solo entrepreneur? Are you a business with less than 4 employees? That's where I've spent the last 5 decades, right? I can't answer the enterprise level or if you're more than 4 employees. I think if you're a solo entrepreneur and you're less than 4 employees, which we've got millions and millions of businesses out there, and you've just got to look at key points of where your time is being consumed and where that could be automated.
Mhm.
And then again, it comes back to it. It comes back to I'll give you LinkedIn, a billion people on LinkedIn, for example. But if you ask the billion people on LinkedIn, what functions of LinkedIn are you using? Like any other software, they're going to say, if we look at it, it's going to be anywhere from 5 to 10%. Right.
Mhm.
So there's still on LinkedIn that's been around for a couple of decades. There's still an 85% improvement that could be made. So what the real answer to this is, you're getting engaged with AI is your black box. Every plane has a black box. AI is your digital black box. And the faster you start engaging with it at any level is probably the best advice that I can give.
I couldn't agree more, Greg. Digital transformation, it is not just about, digitizing processes. It's really about rethinking how businesses deliver value and operate in a digital world. Um, Coming up next, I really want to shift our focus to funding and investment, particularly in opportunities and challenges in securing funding for tech-driven initiatives, because securing funding is often one of the biggest hurdles for small businesses, especially when it comes to, tech-driven initiatives, because it requires a long and a strong business case, a clear vision, and the right connections. Greg, what are some of the funding challenges you see small businesses face today, and how can they position themselves to attract investment for tech-driven projects?
So again, I'll give you from several perspectives. So the first one obviously is Futurepreneur Canada. It's an organization that's available. At the last federal budget a couple of months ago, $60 million was allocated. So if we translate that, that means that 1,000 new enterprises the government of Canada wants up and running. So $60,000 is available there for you to get engaged with. It's a great place to start in terms of getting your business plan done, getting mentors assigned. So funding is available from that side. Obviously, if you've got an idea, family and friends is another good place to go. And then one of the things that I think a lot of the entrepreneurs are not utilizing to full capacity because funds are available and not enough people applying are the grants. So I was at the digital cluster 2 weeks ago here in Vancouver.
Hmm.
Um, there's an organization that is looking for problems to be solved here in Canada that can be taken globally. Incredible funding available, back-end support available. It's just, I think the knowledge is not out there that all these organizations are there for entrepreneurs. And I think if someone who's got a problem and it's AI or it's an innovative disruptor problem is to look at that. I think another one that's underutilized is there are, as you know, with my global travels, there are incubators out there that are maybe already solving part of the problems that you're trying to solve. So tapping into those incubators globally is another opportunity that entrepreneurs can also look at. And then obviously the LinkedIn portion is there for you to aggressively go out. So funding answers to that is, from my experience, the pre-seed funding that's available for AI related companies is 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 very well out there. I see that from the family offices. I see that from the angel investors. I see that from accredited investors as well. It's the idea and the problem that the entrepreneur is trying to solve.
That's really insightful, Greg. The alignment between business vision and the right funding strategy can really open up tremendous opportunities. And securing funding, as you mentioned, it's more than just relationship building, as it's about a business idea itself. But technology is constantly evolving, and staying ahead of the curve is very crucial for the long-term business success. From emerging trends to future predictions, like understanding where tech is headed can help small businesses really prepare and adapt. What do you see as the key technological trends that small businesses should be aware of over the next 5 years?
Well, we're in this state of disruption. I think the regulators are behind. I think our ethics are behind. I think our humanities are behind. I think they need to catch up. But as an entrepreneur and as a disruptive entrepreneur, you cannot wait for that. You've got to get engaged today, and you are creating the future. I mean, it is, it is, that's where we are. You just can't wait for, um, it's a gray area, and you've got to go ahead with it. The future, in terms of quantum speed, in terms of language models, in terms of information that's coming through, in terms of technology. And I'll just give you, where's the future going? I'll give you again with my personal example. 2 years ago, when I had to have a scan of my brain, it took an hour and a half to put the electrodes in all my modules in my brain to then do the exercise, which measured my EEG, and get the results. And the goal of that exercise was that by engaging in a 6-month, 1 year brain optimization program, was then to measure my EEG at the end to see if there had been an increase in my brain activity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fast forward to today, I can have all of that information right here in my glasses, right?
Wow.
Yes. So now, it's where is the future? The future is right now in my body I've got two sensors that are tracking my vital signs, right? So the future is coming at such a fast pace in all the verticals. It's very hard to predict, but how do you monetize that as an entrepreneur is still up to you to get engaged in. Again, I'm coming back to the LinkedIn example, right? If you're only using 5-10% of LinkedIn and there's 85% still to use, that's the same thing with AI. You've got to get engaged.
That's really insightful, Greg. It's exciting to think about what's next and how small businesses can leverage these advancements to stay competitive. Um, and from what you've explained, it is so true that the future is certainly promising for small businesses that embrace these changes. Um, Now, to wrap up our conversation today, Greg, what final advice would you give to our listeners that are looking to leverage technology for their business growth?
That's a pretty loaded question, right? Because advice is is I think the advice is you've just got to set aside. It's like learning something new. You've got to set aside. I think the best advice here. This is the best advice I can give you. The best advice is sitting right in front of you on YouTube.
Hmm.
Okay, YouTube is your education. So if you're starting out in the AI space or in the blockchain space, I would highly encourage that you go to YouTube and just put in the information. Also, one of the other things that you can do is, again, I'll come back to ChatGPT. If you start asking it questions, and making sure that before you start asking the questions, you get a fundamental understanding of prompt engineering, which is all these is available right to you on YouTube on how to ask the question, how to engage, how to be conversational with ChatGPT, and just do that and just focus on AI, for example, and AI specific to the business that you want to start, or AI specific to new knowledge that you want to, business that you may want to get into. And as ChatGPT learns a little bit about you and how your questions have gone, it's going to go out and give you better answers so that you can be more engaged. But I think starting with YouTube in terms of understanding what prompt engineering is all about, and then going to ChatGPT and then using these tools to actually, use them on yourself personally and then on your business. That's the best advice that I can give you. And budget an hour a day just for doing that, and you'll see a huge difference in 3 months, 6 months, a year to yourself and to your business in this space.
Thank you so much, Greg, for sharing your wisdom and expertise. It's been a pleasure to have you on the podcast, and we appreciate all the valuable insights on technology and small business growth that you've shared. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wayne. It was a pleasure to be with you this afternoon.
And to our listeners, today's episode really highlighted the critical role of technology in driving business success, from AI driven customer service solutions to digital transformation strategies. We've really explored how embracing the latest tech can help small businesses scale and thrive. Again, we'd like to extend our thanks to our partners, RBC, UPS, Constant Contact, IUG, and Google for their invaluable support. Please don't forget to subscribe to our website, CanadianSME.ca, for more insightful content. And we'll see you in the next episode.